Hey there viewers of Talk Aston Villa, my name is James from AFCGameByGame, or as you might know me, Cookie from ArsenalFanTV, and Cole has so kindly asked me to come and rate your Aston Villa side from 1 to 10, so I've very much taken up the task of doing that. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a look at all your players from your previous game in that 1-1 draw against Southampton. I think you could all agree that was a good result at St Mary's, and I'm going to give you my ratings and quick thoughts on them. So let's get into it straight away. First off, Brad Guzan. A couple of years ago I would have really highly rated the guy. I thought he was a really good American goalkeeper, did some amazing performances for you lot, but this season has kind of been a bit of an issue for you. Has conceded you a few goals, and for the most part, despite having a few odd good games, he has really been rather unconvincing. So for Guzan, I'm only going to give him a 5 out of 10. Moving on next to Alan Hudson, and when he came into Aston Villa as the forgotten man, they called him, I thought he was doing a fairly decent job, a very stable right back at a time. But again, I think this season you need to be looking to upgrading on him. I think the reason Villa aren't doing so well this season is because it's players like Hudson that you need to be building upon. He was a good stopgap player, but now at this point in time you need to be looking for better players, because at this moment players like him strike me as championship-esque type of players, which may be a little harsh, but my overall rating for him would only be a 4 out of 10, which I think you may see as a bit harsh, but that's just my brutal opinion on it. Next up, Ayew. He's a player that I really do rate. I do think he's a very promising defender. I think he's got a lot to offer the Barclays Premier League. Certainly strikes me as an exciting centre-half. I'm going to give Ayew a 6 out of 10. Joleon Lescott, who I thought was a really good acquisition for you from West Bromwich Albion. Arguably his best days are behind him. I don't even think that's arguable. I think you could all agree that he has had his better days at Everton and Manchester City, but was surplus to requirements at West Bromwich Albion, moved to Aston Villa, doing a fairly decent job for you. Had an excellent game away at St Mary's, and I'm going to give Lescott a 6 out of 10 as well, along with Ayew. Next up, we've got Bacuna, who I think he's got a lot to offer in terms of pace going forward, but not the best defensively, I don't think, but he really is an exciting styler. I think we need to see a bit more from him. I'm going to give Bacuna a 6 out of 10 as well. Next up, Vera. I know very little about the guy, in truth. I know that he came over from France. He does look like an exciting player, made his debut against Bournemouth. I'm going to give Vera a 5 out of 10. Sorry if that's a bit harsh, I really don't know a lot about the guy. Carlos Sanchez up next, and he's very consistently inconsistent. I like Sanchez, he has some really good games, but in other games he really does go vanishing. I felt he was really at the heart of your problems when we played you last season, especially in the FA Cup final. I'm going to give Carlos Sanchez a 5 out of 10. Moving on to Ayew. I'm sorry if I've said that wrong, but I really am terrible with pronunciations. Again, a player similar to Vera I don't know a lot about. I'm going to give Ayew a 5 out of 10 simply because I know very little about him. Next up, Scott Sinclair. And really has revitalised his career at Aston Villa. You may disagree with that, but I think he's been a lot better when playing for you when he has done at Manchester City, where chances, quite frankly, were few and far between for him. He does seem to be playing a lot better, but maybe that's because he's getting a lot more game time with you. It definitely is down to that, to be honest. I think he's got a lot more to offer. I think he's got a lot more progress to be made in his career, but he is now in his mid-20s and he's really got to be hitting the ground running as such. I think he really did halter his career by moving to Manchester City, which was a wrong move for him in my eyes, but I think he's got a lot to offer your Aston Villa side, and I'm going to give Scott Sinclair a 6 out of 10 as well. Moving on to Rudy Gestede, who is probably your best outlet of goals this season, along with the next player, Jordan Ayew, and he has got a lot to benefit your Aston Villa side in terms of goal scoring and heading ability. He seems to be so good in the air. He really did prove that in that game against Bournemouth. Chances like I was saying about Scott Sinclair have been few and far between for him, especially when Tim Sherwood was in charge. He seems to be very in and out of the squad. I may be wrong on that one, but he doesn't seem to be playing consistently for you on a regular basis. Your starting 11 really does seem to be very muddled up in a sense, and you don't seem to have found your starting 11 on paper as of yet, which can prove to be a problem in terms of generating chemistry within the side. But Rudy Gestede, I think, in terms of being so good in the air, and given that he came from the Championship to the Premier League, seems to be doing a really good job at the moment. Well, not a really good job, but a decent job for you. It's just a case of providing him service, which I don't think he's getting. Similarly, knowing that we've got a very similar player in Olivier Giroud up top for us, when he doesn't get the service, that player can be made a scapegoat at times for not getting involved enough in the game. So Rudy Gestede, I do think he can be a big player for you this season if you're to stay up in the league. I'm going to give Rudy Gestede a 7 out of 10, which is my best rating so far on this. Moving on to Jordan Ayew, who was your big summer signing, and hasn't quite hit the ground running as of yet. He scored the odd goal. He has looked rather unconvincing though for the most part, and I do think he really does have to start performing on a more regular basis for you lot, because he is one of your more significant transfers in recent years, and I do think out of the two Ayew brothers, you maybe have got the worse of one, but I mean, it's only a matter of time, I feel, before he starts getting the goals for you, and I'm going to give Jordan Ayew a 7 out of 10, but that's based on his previous career. I do think currently at Aston Villa he's rolling steadily on a 5 out of 10, but in terms of his technical ability and what he can offer to you over the course of the whole season, 7 out of 10 I think is a very fair rating for it. But there you have it. Those are my thoughts on Aston Villa. Apologies if I've got some of them quite way out of scale. I don't watch a lot of Aston Villa. With all respect, I do hope you stay up this season. You're a very good club to have in the Barclays Premier League. You've got a lot to offer the league in terms of your history as well as your stadium. You've got a fantastic ground, Villa Park, and I really like your manager as well. So it's good to see Aston Villa playing a more attractive style of football. You had a great result at St Mary's, and I'm looking forward to a good game this Sunday against you. It should be an excellent game, but hopefully it'll go in favour of an Arsenal win. Anyway, leave your thoughts on this in the comments below. Please do subscribe to Talk Aston Villa, and do check out my own channel, AFC Game by Game, and subscribe to Arsenal Fan TV if you haven't checked them out before, but I'm sure you all have. Please do like the video if you've enjoyed it, and as always, I will speak to you soon, possibly giving you my post-match thoughts after the game.